Hello and welcome to the Grand Tour.
This promises to be the most beautiful drive we have ever done.
You've always been a very outspoken person, and many viewers have admired you for that, but in the world that has become more political correct, and do you think that you have become a bit softer, so to speak, with the years?
Oh God, I've put so much weight on. I'm very soft now. I don't think I could get myself into trouble on this one. I'm sure somebody will find something, but no, I think we should be all right.
What is he doing? How's he managed to get it so far? In his defence, it is quite a tight car park.
The filming in Scotland, everything worked really well. The weather did exactly what we expected it to do. COVID was tricky. The complication of doing the programme was enormous because you can't just take rooms in a hotel. The Amazon protocol is that we have to take over the whole hotel. We have to have our own COVID testing unit travelling with us at all times. And if one of us, anybody on the crew, and there's maybe 50 of us, were to show symptoms, that would be it. We would have to shut the whole thing down. So there was a constant nagging doubt that we weren't going to make it to the end, but incredibly we did. Not just on this one, but we then subsequently in April filmed one in Wales and England and managed to do that one as well.
Are you ready?
Give me strength.
I mean, obviously I've been going to Scotland ever since I was little, so I've never really had a particularly hard time there. I didn't see any reason why we'd have a hard time this time, and we didn't. You know, it was great. And the people say, "Oh, it's only Scotland," but you think, well, no. If you're watching this in Australia or South Africa or Argentina or wherever it might be, Scotland is as exotic to them, in fact, more probably than anywhere in the world is to us. And we laugh about Scottish food, but the truth is, if you know where to look, you can eat bloody well up there.
What's that then?
That's peas.
Well, the tempura egg, I thought, was quite successful.
No.
The worst thing about the trip was
The weather?
the weather.
No, we filmed it in September after the harvest, and we thought it might rain, but I didn't drive a single yard, not 1 yard in that Lincoln where I had the wipers off.
How can my windscreen be leaking?
But it was exactly what you'd expect. It was moody and it was dank and it was beautiful and it was exciting and the cars were hopeless and funny, and so it was all the things, all the ingredients you look for. And because of COVID, we had to try our hardest. I think we put in a bloody good show this time.
What the? Oh, jeez. How has he done?
We do push it sometimes, as you know. We had the kind of race between the Soviet Union's cars and America's cars, and there's always a danger you're going to bust something doing that. But our job is to entertain the viewers, not look after ourselves.
Sorry, that was hilarious.
James tends not to, he tends to think mostly about Victorian poetry. Everybody's head has a place where it settles, you know, and mine settles on what can we do that would be amusing the next time we stop that make James May's life a little bit worse. And Richard, broadly the same thing. James gets in the car and is only thinking about Victorian poetry. He never really knows where he is until he needs to go to the laboratory. Then he stops thinking about Victorian poetry and goes to the laboratory. So he never really thinks, oh, I must get them back. He's actually drenched, gets in the car, Victorian poetry.
Well, while I admire your ingenuity and your application, that was a low blow on a day like this.
Isn't it funny how three people can have very different views of the same thing? I thought it was a really good idea.
Same here.
You don't really realise when you see American cars in America, they seem to be normal sized. It's only when you bring them over here and put them on a little Scottish road, you realise through the centre of Edinburgh just how big they are. And soft, unbelievably soft. So they roll. You stop outside a shop, go in, do your weekly shopping, come out, and it's still rocking backwards and forwards on its suspension. But I wouldn't say they were the best cars we've ever driven on. No. a lot of our adventures by any means, but they were comedic enough, charismatic enough, let's say, for me to bring the Lincoln home and give it garage space. What's
kind of like your favorite, car in this episode, and how do you, look at all the, electric car investments in the world and how that is going?
Oh, well, obviously my favourite car in this episode was the Lincoln, because that's what I chose and it's what I've kept, actually. Electric cars just bore me. If you're not interested in cars, then fine, go ahead, get yourself it's just like a microwave, it has no soul. But if you just want to go to and from work and not make a noise while you're doing it, fine, get an electric car. I'm never going to have one. But each to his own, we mustn't... It's too much lecturing goes on in the world at the moment. It's not so everyone should buy what they want to buy.
I'm going to lie to you, this feels a bit perilous. Shit.
I've had a brilliant idea.
Oh, God.
James May, here I come. Clarkson!